Here's your fourth secret. Relationships thrive only when partners share responsibility for issues and duties. On a daily basis, vitality grows when each person takes full responsibility for any issue that arises. Vitality surges when both partners stop blaming and start claiming ownership of problems.
We invite you to turn your life into a blame-free zone. We teach each partner to take full responsibility for everything that occurs in the relationship, especially if it looks like it's the other person's fault. True responsibility and the incredible, powerful, creative energy it unleashes comes from catching yourself in the middle of saying, "Why did you do that to me again?" and then shifting to, what am I doing that keeps inviting that behavior?
We ask couples to go on a strict no-blame diet and stick to it. As a practice, this move liberates awesome energy. In fact, we've seen life-altering breakthroughs come about when couples simply went one full day without criticizing or blaming each other. As a concept, the idea of giving up blame and criticism is often greeted with derision. Impossible, some say. How boring, say others. We've found that it's actually possible and anything but boring. The couple who is deeply addicted to blame and criticism has usually come to mistake the adrenalized drama of conflict for the flow of connection.
As part of our wedding vows 30 years ago, we made a special kind of commitment to each other. We held hands and looked each other in the eyes and made a commitment to ending blame and criticism in our relationship. It took us several years of intense focus to make good on that commitment, but eventually we did it. It's been decades now since either one of us have blamed the other one for anything, and we haven't missed it the slightest bit.
First, though, how did we end blame and criticism? The short answer is, every time we were conscious enough to catch ourselves uttering a critical or blameful word, we would stop, sometimes in mid-sentence, and replace it with what we came to call radical responsibility.
True radical responsibility is when you claim responsibility for something for no apparent reason, just to make good on your commitment to doing so. It's especially effective when it really looks like it's the other person's fault.
True responsibility takes you out of the victim position in relationships. True responsibility has nothing to do with blame and fault, and it can never be assigned, only taken voluntarily.
It never does any good to assign responsibility to someone else by saying, "You're responsible for stealing my car," or "You're responsible for messing this thing up." The legal and criminal justice systems are based on that kind of assigning responsibility and apportioning blame, and we all know how spectacularly those systems don't work very well.
From practical experience with thousands of couples, we can tell you this. The only positive results come from one person having the courage to take responsibility voluntarily. When two people in a relationship can do this, they open the gate to a pathway of real magic between them.
The moment a word of blame leaves your mouth, your relationship ends and an entanglement begins. Then, relationship can only be restored by ending blame and entering a new zone of shared responsibility. Take a typical blame statement as an example. "You never listen to a word I say." The relationship no longer exists the moment a phrase like this is uttered. In place of a relationship, an entanglement has been created. Relationships can only exist between equals. Blame is based on presuming inequality.
Blame is based on the presumption that there is a victim and there is a villain. The blamer is saying, "You are the cause of my problem." The moment blame leaves your mouth, you've already decided that you're the victim. You've already assigned blame to the villain. You've pointed the finger and found the target.
The problem is that the person on the other end of the pointed finger doesn't really feel like the villain. Your blamee never cheerfully agrees. They never say, you're right. Upon reflection, it's clear to me that I am actually responsible for all your pain. Never once in 30-plus years as psychotherapists have we ever heard anyone say anything remotely like that. What the blamee always does instead is to make a mad dash for the victim position.
Then you have two people fighting for the victim position, each thinking that the other is the villain. It's like a dog chasing its own tail. It produces a lot of heat and burns up a lot of energy, but it doesn't produce any positive results. The fuel consumed by the race for the victim position is the very fuel of creativity. Therein lies the addictive power of blame. Blame is used in relationships as a drug to avoid the pain of not expressing creative potential.
Blame is a powerful addiction. The act of blaming another person triggers a burst of adrenaline. In its extreme form, this is the fuel for old-fashioned customs like stoning and lynching. In smaller doses, it keeps couples occupied so they won't have to face the truly scary process of tapping into and expressing their creativity.
From the positive view, though, the fact that the couple is addicted to blame also means that they both have a wellspring of creativity trying to push up through the paved-over surface of the relationship. If blame can be ended and the wellspring tapped, there are no upper limits to how much new creative juice can pour through your relationship.